All right, check it out. Here we got 5 of my favorite fixed blades for Friday. I'm gonna probably tag a couple knife channels on this as well. These guys that were doing these case by favorite case videos: Red Eyed Patriot, Dirty Old Patch, a couple others that I watch. So I'm gonna tag them guys as well. But these are just 5 of my favorites that I would never part with. And I'll start with the one on my left here. This is the old RH PAL, P-A-L, RH36, made back in the 30s and 40s. The fight knife from World War II. Leather wrapped handle. This is the shape that I received this knife in. This knife was given to my grandfather by my great uncle Rufus, who was in the Navy. I believe it was 42, 43 when Rufus was in the Navy. This is one of the probably second or third knife sheaths that I ever made. And I just made it with some material, different leather I had laying around, and practiced doing a little stamping and that. But this is my old Rufus, 42. Okay. The next one I would never part with was this knife. And my grandfather was a millwright and did a lot of stuff at work with his hands. They had a coffee table that was a bunch of washers this big around welded together. It made a coffee table, crazy stuff like that. But I got this knife, and it was in a bunch of tools that he had given me before he passed. And I cut the blade down a little bit and cleaned it out and resharpened it. And then I made a sheath for it as well. So that's another knife that I would never get rid of right here. Now, this knife is a K-bar knife that I bought in El Paso, Texas at Fort Bliss in 1989. And I want to say it was almost $100 back then. But it was my first year in the Marine Corps, and that's where I went to radar electronics school. And by God, I was going to have a K-bar if it was going to kill me. So I didn't care to wait till I got to the field and have one issued or anything. I went and bought one. So I have had this knife. This knife went overseas with me in the first Gulf War. And if any time I've been out in the woods in the last 30-some years, I've had this knife with me usually. Now, it's getting a little older. And I noticed like this... I guess, what is that, a hilt or a tang? Hilt's what, the rear typically, tang. I'm not big on the nomenclature, guys. She started getting a little loose, so I've kind of retired this one. But that's been a good knife. And I did make a sheath for it. I do have the original sheath still. It is... pouch for a Zippo lighter that I carried while I was in. Here's the original sheath for it. And I mean, all in all, this sheath's in pretty decent shape. I think it poked through 1 or 2 places here, but I thought about cutting this apart and repairing it, and I may before it's over. Okay, and then another favorite of mine, and I say I would never get rid of it, but I probably will, and I may do a sub giveaway with this one. I made this sheath for this knife. This is a Buck 104 Camp Compadre. But this was 1 in 500. It was done with the Magna Cut. And it was the first one they did with the clip points on them. And I had this one engraved Michigan Silverback for my YouTube channel. And I love it. It's a great knife. But the truth is that on the Camp Compadres, I love the drop point blade that comes with them. So I'm thinking, since the sheath turned out so nice for it, that I may do a sub giveaway with that. And of course, I'd send the original sheath and box with it as well. I've never used this knife. It's never been sharpened or anything like that. So it'd be getting a brand new knife. So I'm just keeping that one for, we're going to hang on to see what we do with that. But I do love the sheath on that. Sheath turned out really nice. Now this knife is very special to me. In 2018, I met my biological father and my 2 half brothers. And I only refer to them as half-brothers in the fact that I'm telling you the story about my biological father, but I refer to them daily as my brothers. But that was 2018, and last year I went up to help my brother with his, he bought a new place up there, and we were doing some stuff on the porch. He had a 14 feet in the air, I think was the porch, and I went up and helped him. And one day I get a phone call. He said, "Hey, check your porch." I said, "What do you mean?" And we live on the opposite sides of the state. He says, "You got something on your porch for you today." So I went out there and looked, and it was this knife from, I think it's Rapid River up in northern Michigan, up near Escanaba, Michigan. So it was this beautiful little skinning knife, and I think that's curly maple. Yeah, Rapid River Knife Works. And beautiful, beautiful, nice little hunting knife. But I can't leave nothing alone. So this is the original sheath. But I took and cut it apart, and I lined it. And then I put a different loop on it, because I like, when I do my sheaths, I like to do a lot of them so I can strap them down. And then I did a little bit of stamping on it, and I stamped this Custos Fratus Me on it. If that's how you say it, I don't know. I'm more hillbilly than I am Latin. But that is my brother's keeper in Latin. So this is one I would never part with either. I probably, truthfully, probably would never use it. And I hope you don't get upset, but it's a beautiful knife, and I'd hate to ever lose it. It would kill me to lose it. So, yeah, that's my collection of 5 for Friday that I would probably never part with the exception of maybe that one. And I think what keeps me hanging on to that one is I like the sheath so well it turned out, but I just have to do another one, I guess. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. And I want to shout out again to that Dirty Old Patch and the Red-Eyed Patriot. And a couple others, Georgia Adventure, Baxter's Blades. You guys, I love your channels, man. Just appreciate what all you guys do. Thanks for watching. Silverback out.